יראת קודש נבחרה ממנה תצא אורה.
We'd like to begin the ceremony. Maybe into the room where the bris is going to take place. We recite, we chant those words, Baruch haba. And there's a gentleman here who's going to be singing it for us. Where is he? Come on up. So the Baruch haba is only used twice in liturgy, in our ritual. Once, when a bride walks under the chuppah, the chazan or the rabbi will chant those words, Baruch haba, and the other time is when the baby comes into the room for the bris. So the question is, what is the connection between the two? Well, the connection is that when a bride walks under the chuppah, it is though she is beginning her life anew. We're told that the Shekhinah, the providence of God, rests on her shoulders at that time, and her life starts afresh. Anything that's gone on previously is considered null and void. And the same, of course, is with a baby just been born. And he's about to be entered into the covenant of Abraham to begin his life under the guidelines of that covenant. So I'm going to invite this gentleman here to sing it
without the microphone.
Without the microphone, okay, good. Off you go. Baruch haba.
Baruch haba mebet Adonai beraknuchem mebet Adonai Baruch haba mebet Adonai
Beautiful. Please rise as the baby is brought into the room. We rejoice with gratitude for the privilege of bringing this child into our ancestral covenant. We pray that God will grant this newborn son in the house of Israel the blessings of health, fulfillment, and peace. We pray that he will find beauty in his heritage, which will strengthen and sustain him throughout his life. You may be seated. The baby is now handed over to our Sunday. Come on up to the... Where's Mom? Mom, where are you hiding?
Julia,
where are you?
I'm hiding.
So Michael, thank you for a second over here. What I need you to do, Michael, is recite this paragraph either in the Hebrew or English.
I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of having my son circumcised, as the praiseworthy Creator has commanded and given us in the Torah. Throughout your generations, every male among you shall be circumcised when he is 8 days old.
So you have proclaimed before everybody here that you are prepared to carry out the mitzvah which you ordained in the Torah to ensure that your son is circumcised. The rabbis in their infinite wisdom understood that perhaps you might not feel comfortable doing it yourself.
That's right.
So they gave you the option to choose somebody from among you to do that in your stead. So take a good look around, see if there's somebody you'd like.
Nobody.
Nobody. So what I need you to do is say I, followed by your full name.
I am Michael Rosenfeld. Michael Zev Rosenfeld.
Appoint you.
Rabbi Bright. For the mitzvah of Mila. And my son.
At every bris, we set aside a chair. It's called the Kisei Shel Eliyahu Hanavi, the chair of Elijah. And it's very similar, the reasoning is very similar to that which we do at our Seders. You know, your Seders, you set aside either a cup of wine or a seat in the belief that the spirit of Elijah is present. Today is no different. Tradition teaches us that in the time of Elijah's life, the ritual of Judaism was curtailed both by law and by desire, and Elijah's concern was that Brit Milah would cease to exist. And we're told that in a dream God appeared to Elijah and said to him, not only will circumcision not ever cease, but to prove that, and because of your loyalty to my covenant. And we say, Zeh hakisei shel Elyon, v'zochol Hashem v'shos gidis Adonai. Sibati l'shoas Adonai mitzosecha sisi, sibati l'shoas Adonai sosanach, and whatever kamotei shal rav, shalol rav lavei sorosef, and v'chalach shveitikavash l'uzkarei gishton, kavatzercha. Please repeat after me. Nisba'ah, betuv, beitecha, kadosh, heichalecha. May we be filled with the blessings of your home and from your holy temple. At this time, we're going to ask our Sundek to rise with the baby. Where are you? Mom, you want to step down?
No, I'm good here. I've seen enough for one day.
Wait, take one. When I take it to say the bracha, say aye. Can you place the baby here? No, it's not my job. Okay, babies are so nice. How could I say? You're going to come and stand by his head, please. Okay, so what I want to do is get that in the grape juice and then put it in his mouth. Wait, just hold it there. He'll open it in a second. So when I strap his legs down, okay, just push him in his mouth. Push it right in, so he's sucking it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvot v'tzivanu al hamilah. It's all finished. Say the bracha.
Right there, you are on the verse, it's about holiness to our lives, and you gave us the mitzvah to bring this child into the covenant of Abraham, our father.
Amen. כשם שנכנס לבריס, כן ייכנס לתורה, לחופה ולמעשים טובים. אמן. All finished. Oh, you're giving me a bad name. Look at this. Oh. brachos for the wine. Good. Can you take hold of the cup of wine? I'm going to give you. If you come over to the microphone. I'm going to. I don't. Yeah. It's okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagadah.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidesh yedid mivetem chok b'shelo sam v'tzava chatam be'od brit kodesh al ken v'shtorteh al chai elkeinu tzurenu tzaveh lehatzil yedidut sharenu mishareh leman brito asher sam b'saro Baruch atah Adonai
Amen. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to now do the naming. Don't drink the wine yet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. You need it, huh? I don't blame you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the baby naming. See if you can guess what the name is. Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, God and God of our fathers, Kayem et hayeled hazeh la'aviv v'le'imo, v'yikarei shemo b'Yisrael Noach. Noach ben Meir v'Naomi. Yismach ha'op yotzei chalosav sogel imo b'vi v'nov kakatuv. Yismach avicha ve'imecha v'sogel yoladetecha. Sustain this child. And let him be known among the people of Israel as Noach, the son of Meir and Naomi. And may his mother be blessed with regained strength. And may both parents find joy in their child.
Amen.
And may they love and with wisdom, may they be privileged to teach him the meaning of the covenant.
Amen.
Which he has entered into this day. And may they inspire him to seek the truth and the ways of peace. And through their example, may his heart be open to the Torah and all its ways.
Siman tov, mazal tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazal tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazal tov, siman tov. Yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael.
That whenever we remove a part of the human body, we're not permitted to destroy it, but we have to bury it. So Michael, this is my gift to you. Okay. Hold it tight, don't let it get away. There's a beautiful tradition. And the tradition is that you buy a sapling and you plant that sapling on your property. And you bury that underneath the sapling. And then please God, in 25 years, when Noah comes to you and says, Mom and Dad, I'm getting married, you're going to go outside to the tree and you're going to cut the branches to make the chuppah and the people stand in his chuppah. And that's how we continue the other relationship.
Welcome everyone to the third installment of celebrating our family's greatest moments in this beautiful old room. The irony that I get to share wonderful simchas, including marrying my beautiful wife Julia, the birth of our daughter Olivia, and now the birth of our son Liam, with many of the same people in the very same place, is not lost on me. It's also not lost on me that none of this would be possible without the generosity of Joyce and Munir, who our kids affectionately refer to as Pateta and Baba. And so I want to start by thanking them both from the bottom of my heart for this beautiful hat trick. I don't want you to worry, Julia. I'll never get tired of bragging about you. And so similar to the last two speeches, this one will all be about you as well. On that note, this is a great opportunity for me to tell you how utterly amazed I continue to be about your strength and character. I know I'm biased because she's my amazing wife, but I swear to you all that Julia could write a book about how to give birth. I don't believe anyone could make it look this easy. Julia's probably already told many of you this story, but she won't let me leave here today unless she gets to have the biggest "I told you so" in front of everyone in this room. So here, Julia, is the story of how your husband put his foot in his mouth in the biggest possible way. Don't think you're getting on easy, Munir. I wasn't alone in my foolishness. On December 8th, Julia's birthday of all days, we were getting ready to go out for dinner when Julia started having contractions, which I was convinced were just stomach cramps from all the nibs she ate that day. She said she thought she'd give birth that night, but wasn't positive, and decided it was better to reassess after some pizza. So off to dinner we went. During dinner, she was convinced that this was real, but she was alone in this thinking. Even her father, who is the world's most cautious man and invented worrying, didn't seem convinced and was getting ready for his early morning flight to Florida. You can't really blame him. Julia was still 2 weeks away from her due date. By 10:30, we decided to leave dinner early and head to the hospital. During the drive, I was a little annoyed for 2 reasons. We skipped dessert, and I was convinced that we were now heading to the Jewish to waste a good night's sleep. I proceeded to tell Julia, my call is that you're not going to give birth tonight because it's impossible that someone who's about to give birth could look so calm and show no indications of any sort of real pain. I mean, I'm not an expert, although I honestly thought I was, but this is not what giving birth looks like. I was so sure of myself that I went on to arrogantly add that if I'm wrong, you can rub it in my face for as long as you'd like. 1 hour into our hospital visit, the doctor announces that Julia is 5 centimeters dilated and is definitely ready for showtime. Now all I can think about is how I'm going to have to worry about 3 birthdays in a row every December. Here on the 7th, my love on the 8th, and our son on the 9th. I'm also praying that Julia has somehow forgotten about our conversation in the car. We then spent the next few hours laughing about how out to lunch Munir and I are, and joking that Munir can still catch his flight if Julia moves fast enough. Yes, Julia laughed and joked that she was happy she was going to do this on a full stomach, and she didn't complain once. By 2:40 a.m., with 3 pushes, yes, only 3 pushes, a few seconds apart, mission accomplished. Now I knew for sure I would never let this down. Julia, I could never list all the things that I love so much about you, but your amazing ability to keep me on my toes and make every day more interesting than the last are close to the top of the list. At the very top of the list, however, is what a wonderful mother you are, and the way you've managed to pass on amazing qualities to Olivia. Your show-stopping looks, beautiful eyes, sense of humor, love for talking, never-ending talking, and smarts. I'm the luckiest man in the world to have found the second Julia and Olivia, and I can't wait to watch you do this all over again with Liam. My buddy Liam. Having spent the better part of my life being outnumbered by women, I'm excited to level the playing field in our family. This isn't because we have any chance of standing up to Julia and Olivia, but because I'm hopeful that they'll move on to picking on you and bossing you around instead of me. As your father, it's my job to protect and guide you, so I think it's important that we go over some guidelines that will help you acclimate to living with our ladies. 1. The time right after they wake up in the morning or after naps can be very unpredictable, but almost always involves them being in a bad mood, not wanting to talk, and likely hating you. Don't take it personally, and if you play your cards right, it will pass quickly. Whatever you do, don't be talkative or cheery, and don't try to make jokes. This will only prolong your time in prison. 2. Notwithstanding number 1, there's a small chance they will wake up in a good mood and want to talk a lot. If that happens, it's crucial that you put your game face on and be ready for a lengthy conversation, likely a recap of some recent social function. You're expected to help me in satisfying their cravings, and this too can be unpredictable and changes without notice. As of this morning, Julia likes nibs and sparkling water, while Olivia likes Kit Kat bars and ice in her regular water. When they like something, don't get excited and buy a lot of it, as you'll end up eating it all yourself once they move on to the next craving. Don't try to be creative when buying them presents. They'll tell you what they want, and you are nothing more than a courier service who just delivers it. Don't think you're getting a break from the other women in our immediate family. My sisters and Lisa are definitely on Team Julia Olivia, and my mom, your grandmother Mimi, is the captain of Team Crazy Women. Even Munir, who could be a good ally, will often be on their team, likely because he caved after years of being outnumbered himself. Your only hope for someone kind will take your side is your grandmother Joyce, so I suggest you start sucking up to her right away. My dad, your Saba, is one of the greatest guys on the planet, but his soft spot for the ladies is no different than Munir's. The sooner you learn to really like girly TV shows like Grey's Anatomy, musicals like Glee, the better off you will be. There is no place in our house for action movies or gratuitous violence, as Julia calls it, unless you want to stay up late with me once the ladies are sleeping. Accept the reality that your mother will be a better athlete than you, and if she has her way, your sister will be better as well. Family sports are not going to go well for our team. Online shopping, or consuming as your mother likes to call it, is a daily activity for our ladies. I will need you to help me carry and open all the boxes that are delivered, and whatever you do, don't ask stupid questions like, did you both buy clothes last week? Or, does Olivia really need 47 pink pacifiers and 12 sippy cups? Last, and most importantly of all, don't ever forget how lucky you are to have such beautiful, kind, and funny ladies in your life. I promise you will understand soon that it doesn't get better than this. I'd like to end by saying a few words about Liam's name. There are profound reasons behind Liam as a choice. Julia loves the way that Liv and Liam sound together. She wanted a short name to counter my very long last name, and summarily dismissed the hundreds of other names I put on the table. On a more serious note, however, Liam's middle name, Noah, is in honor of his great-grandfather, Naeem Levy. While I wasn't fortunate enough to ever meet Naeem, Julia has shared wonderful things about him. He was kind, wise, gentle, and humble. He was a pillar in our community and the president of our synagogue. He didn't speak often, but when he did, people listened. He loved his family, he adored his community, and his generosity knew no bounds. I'm very proud to have my son named after such a special man, and will work tirelessly to ensure that he honors his legacy. Thank you all for joining us today. It means the world to us to be able to share this special moment in our lives with all of you.